How's it going? It's PM Designs, and if you watched my last video on travel photography and my take on my camera situation at this current point, I hinted at and kind of gave a big clue as that I basically told you I was getting this camera. This is a Nikon Keymission 80. I had actually seen these whenever they in some other videos when Nikon first announced them, and this camera to me stood out as being the most ideal camera for what I was looking for. Um, I was kind of thinking about starting a little daily vlog type thing, and I was looking for a small camera that basically bring wherever, bring anywhere. So on this, if you look at the actual camera, you notice that there's a little metal clip in the front that actually will work to set the camera on. It does kind of lean forward just a little bit, but as long as you're not in like a moving vehicle or something, it'll pretty much kind of balance on it. I don't know if that's an intentional thing or not, but if we look at the camera on the front, you actually do have a little LED video light, stereo microphones, and the build quality seems very, very solid. On the side, you notice this little wheel. That's how you switch between photo and video mode. It is waterproof to I think 1 meter. It's set on the front. On the back, you do have a rear-facing camera. You have NFC, Wi-Fi, and Bluetooth connectivity. NFC logo down at the bottom. And it does 1080p. I believe it does 12 megapixel stills. Yes, waterproof to 1 meter. If we look at the specs of it, we see what we get in the box first is obviously we get the camera, the battery that is built into the camera. It can be changed by the user, but it's not intended as a swap the battery when it gets depleted and have a few charged batteries with you. It's mainly when the battery stops holding the charge, replace it kind of thing. So I would recommend maybe a portable power supply or something similar to that if you're going to be needing more battery time on it. So we also have the USB and the charger, the little AA-4 camera holder, which we will take a look at in a minute, and obviously the manual. If we look down here at the tech specs, like I said, 12 megapixel camera in the front, 4 in the rear, 1080p at 30 frames. And if we look at our dimensions, 1.8 by 3.5 by 6, very small camera. It's a little thicker than my cell phone, but smaller dimensionally than my camera. Definitely easily will fit in your pocket or purse or a bag or wherever you want to keep it. May want to just get something to put in there just to keep the lenses safe from scratches or damage. CMOS sensors, 2.7 ounces, a little 1.75 inch screen on the back, good enough for framing the shot. If we look, the AA-4 camera holder that it comes with is basically on the back. There's a little slot that you pass a little piece of Velcro. You can either go vertically through it or horizontally through it, depending on whatever you're attaching that to. The one thing I do like is on the camera, or one of the special features, I guess, unique to this type of camera, is it allows you to do interval recording and time-lapse video recording. So you can basically set this up, clip it, put it on your bag. Obviously, if you're putting this on your bag and you're doing some hiking, you may want to put something else around the camera, like maybe like a bungee or something, like a little rubber hairband or something just to keep the camera from somehow slipping out of the holder, if you're depending on what activities you're doing. But from one of the things I was looking at is you can basically put the camera in the holder, and then that'll automatically, you'll set it up to do the interval recording, and then whenever you put it into the holder. So the holder does have some functionality to where you can take it out, it automatically goes into normal mode, and then when you put it back in there, it goes back to what you had it on before for doing your intervals, which would be kind of fun to, as you're going through the hike, to eventually when you get back, you have a little time lapse of the entire hike, some photos from the hike or video, whatever you have it set to do. Then if you look at the accessories, we have a tripod adapter, which that's one thing I would have liked to see on the AA-4 is a little tripod thread. I mean, I'm sure you can, epoxy a little 1/4 20 nut on there or something to give you that ability. A little extension arm mini tripod, a few little clips and things. They do have a few little cases that you can get for the little soft cases for keeping your camera and accessories and stuff like that. But I didn't really see a point in showing that. So after this, there is going to be some sample video and let you hear the audio. It'll basically be talking about the camera and stuff. I will add some video later on and add another review in a few weeks to a month of how it's been working and how I've been liking the camera. So this is just the initial first impressions of the camera and the kind of overview first impressions. So stay tuned for that and hope you enjoy it. And at this point, I'd be recommending this camera. So stay tuned. How's it going? It's PM Designs, which you already knew that because of the first part of this video. Just coming back with with some test video of it. I will say the image stabilization on this thing is pretty darn good. One thing, and I ended up reading about about it and found out that it's actually in the manual, but I was under the right impression. I'd put a 32 or a 6 or maybe even a 64 gig micro SD card in this camera, and when I turn it on, it's telling me 29 minutes record time. I'm thinking, I don't believe so. I have a pretty large card in there. But if you know, and I remember hearing it, but apparently there's some kind of tax or import fee or duty or something in relation to cameras that can record over 30 minutes, which actually get taxed or whatever as a video camera, not as a stills camera. So I'm sure someone will say that's this rule, or that's this that was overthrown by this, or that's because of this country or whatever. Not sure the exacts on it, but I do know it is something to do with cameras and video cameras and the difference in some fee or duty that's on them. But I mean, the image stabilization, I'm moving this camera around, and it seems to give a pretty smooth image to me. Obviously, sound quality, you're gonna have to be the judge of that. I can't monitor the audio while I'm recording it, so hopefully it sounds good. I'm in a car right now, so the audio should be pretty good. As far as not too much outside noise. From the small screen on the back, the video looks pretty good. But I just want to get this video out there. The only things that I guess I wish would be a little bit better would be, I wish that there would be better battery life. You're looking at 200, in the manual it says approximately 220 stills and approximately 40 minutes of video. I wish it was a little bit more than that, but I'm sure if this line of camera does well, then I'm sure they'll work on expanding that and putting better batteries in there and stuff. But for the form factor, it's pretty darn good. A couple of things I did look at is, when I was going through the manual, is the which I forget the exact term they use. I don't have the manual with me, but there are a little bit more limitations to the interval photos. It'll basically make I think it said a 90-second, or no, 30-second clip of the time-lapse movie, or it'll do 100 individual stills at whatever interval. So, I mean, either way, I'd probably end up just doing the stills over the course of a hike. I think that'd be a little bit more useful. And the other thing I'm not quite sure of, and I'm going to have to, I guess, figure out some way to test this and see 100%, but from what I was reading is that when you put it in the AA4 cradle, it'll automatically turn the camera off or go into the mode of the interval photography or video that you have set. But if you don't have that set, when you put it in there, it'll just turn it off, and when you take it out, it'll turn it on so you can have it ready to take a picture. But I'm not, although reading that, and then when I put it in there and you take it out, it was just kind of weird. Like, okay, did I put it in here, turn it on, and it turned it on, or am I taking it out and it's turning it on? So, but so far I like the camera. It's a good little small camera, and you know, hopefully the video sounds good, and hopefully the audio's pretty clear. I'm happy with my purchase so far. So, thanks for watching. Like I said, I'm gonna come back eventually with another video covering, you know, the little bit of a long-term opinion on it. Being that right now I've only had this camera a day now, and I've just been playing with it a little bit. But just wanted to get this video put together, and that way people that are looking to use this like a vlogging camera or something like this, which for me, my intent was kind of to use it as a vlogging camera, which really haven't, for me and my purpose, which at the end of the day it comes down to, will a product suit you and your needs? You know, it may work perfect for me and not worth anything for you. So, but for me, for just doing a little, you know, a little 5-minute video or 10-minute video or 15-minute video where I'm just, you know, talking about something, it'll work perfect for that task. Well, the problem is, if I mess up the first time and I need to re-record it, then I'm kind of out of luck, because if I recorded 15 minutes, well, the other half better be 15 minutes or less, because, you know, I'm gonna run out of battery time. I'm also not sure if you can actually use it while it's plugged in or not. I'm gonna actually have to look into that. But hey, thanks for watching. Let me know what you think of this camera. Let me know if you're thinking about picking one up, or if someone you know, maybe people you know have it on their wish list or something. If you're not looking at picking up this one, if you're looking at picking up one of the other Keymission cameras that Nikon put out, let me know. Have a great one, and if you're in a place that celebrates Thanksgiving, have a happy Thanksgiving. And if where you're at doesn't celebrate Thanksgiving, have a good rest of your week.